Good morning class. This is for EC 6th semester and the subject is VLSI and today's topic is super buffers. So first of all, what do you mean by buffer? That is also called digital buffer or voltage buffer. It is an electronic circuit element that is used to isolate the input from the output, providing either no voltage or a voltage that is same as the input voltage. It also draws very little current and will not be disturb the original circuit. It is also called a unity gain buffer because it provides a gain of 1, which means it provides at most the same voltage at the input voltage, serving no amplification function. Also, voltage buffer or digital buffer has a very high input impedance. High input impedance is the reason a voltage buffer is used. A circuit with a voltage buffer will always draws a little amount of current because of the high input impedance of the buffer. As a result, the power source will not be affected. So the digital buffer or voltage buffer is important because it can control the on and off of data transmission, which is widely used in the resistors buses, that is data transferring device. A typical digital buffer that is used to control multiple data inputs written onto a bus is a tri-state digital buffer, which controls the data flow by tri-state pins. Now our topic is super buffers. Super buffers have a good drive strength and provide symmetric driving behavior, equal rise and fall time. A super buffer has 4 internal transistors whose W/L ratio and connections give better characteristics of charging and discharging output node with symmetrical rise and fall delays. Now there are two types of configuration of a super buffer. First is inverting and second one is non-inverting type. This is the example of inverting super buffer. It consists of 4 transistors. Transistor 2 and 4 are directly connected to each other, same way T1 and T3 are connected to each other. Suppose when V input is changing from 0 to 1, the transistor 2 becomes on. Similar, since transistor 4th becomes on immediately because it has direct connection to T2 or V input. At the same time, the gate voltage of third transistor gets pulled down to 0, and due to V out node it goes to off state immediately. Here the output responses are instantaneous as output transistor are connected to Vin. So in this figure shows when we apply the positive voltage at the input, then transistor T2 on and T4 immediately goes to on state. Also T1 is an on state, but transistor T3 the gate voltage of this transistor get pulls down to 0. So due to V out node it goes to off state immediately. So next is when negative logic transition V input at the apply voltage. When we apply, V input is equal to 0. When the V input or input voltage is changing from 1 to 0, then second and fourth transistor goes to off state. So it goes off. This gives a higher voltage, approximately VDD, at third transistor input, thereby giving higher conductivity and faster charging to output node. That means when the input is 0, output is 1. So only T3 will work. Therefore V output is not directly connected to V input. Also we can say that if V input is 0, the gate of the transistor T3 is allowed to increase quickly to VDD. VDD is power supply, but the transistor T4 is turned off by this input Vin. T3 is conduct with VDD on its gate. If the gate of these transistors tied to the source as in the NMOS inverter, with the twice of average voltage would be applied. We also know that IDS, drain to source current, is directly proportional to VGS, that is gate to source voltage. Then effective VGS doubling, and VGS will rise the current and decrease the delay. So if VGS increases, that is a voltage between gate and source, then current IDS will also increases, and it reduces the delay in charging any capacitance at the output. So as shown in figure, this is the case of non-inverting type NMOS super buffer, that is the opposite of inverting type NMOS buffer, super buffer. So this is about super buffer. Our next topic is propagation delays. So our next topic is propagation delays. First of all, what is delay? We have already discussed in our previous lecture. Delay is time gap between the given value at the input and the time at which the change is reflected at the output due to that input. Now what is propagation delay? Propagation delay of a logic gate. Example, suppose we have inverter. Inverter is the difference in time when output switches after application of input. So first is propagation delay, high to low, that is TPHL. That is the delay when output switches from high to low after input switches from low to high. This delay is usually calculated at 50% point of input output switching. Second propagation delay is low to high, that is TPLH. That is a delay when output switches from low to high after input switches from high to low. Now there are two types of delays in VLSI. First is cascaded pass transistor, and second one is design of long polysilicon wires. Now first we have cascaded pass transistor. What is a pass transistor? How does it work? Generally, pass transistor is a series of transistor connected as shown in figure. MOS technology offered a free use of transistors connected in a serial mode or parallel mode. Switches in logical arrays. Logical signal must pass through these pass transistors in parallel or in series. As shown in figure here, a chain of 4 such transistors, number of transistors connected in series. Now here we have 4 pass transistors that is connected in series. So using this pass transistor we can drive a logic. Whenever the transistors are connected in parallel, we perform addition, and when the transistors are connected in series we perform multiplication. So this is a pass transistor and 4 pass transistors are connected in series. VDD is power supply voltage, that is common for all the pass transistors, that is V input, switches from 0 to 1, that is also equal to VDD. So VDD as input source and output is V output, that is equal to VDD minus VTHP. VTHP is the threshold voltage of PMOS transistor. So as shown in first figure, all the gates of transistor are connected to VDD, that is gate, it's drain, and this one is source. When all the gates are connected to VDD, that is logic 1, the signal to be propagated towards output. But our input is VDD, that is 0 to 1. But the output, at the output is not same as that of input. There is some delay when the signal propagates from these 4 pass transistors. So that output, V output, is equal to VDD minus VTHP. VTHP is the threshold voltage. Threshold voltage is the minimum voltage we apply for a transistor to form a channel or to create a channel. After that the circuit is modeled as shown in figure B, that is propagation delay in pass transistor chain. Here input is V input, output is V output. So the RC circuit. We have 4 pass transistors in this network. Also we have 4 pass transistors. And now we have to calculate the delay throughout the network at node V2. There are 3 types of node, B1, B2, V3, but we have to calculate the delay at node V2 because before V1 there is no current flow or there is no voltage at this point. So with respect to time we have C in CV is equal, I is equal to C into V, that is C into dV by dt. V is V2, that is equal to I1 minus I2 at node V2. That is C into dV2 by dt, I1 minus I2. I1 current is equal to V1 minus V2. I2 current is equal to V2 minus V3. So it becomes V1 minus V2 minus V2 minus V3 divided by R. So when the network becomes large, the expression may be written as RC. R is multiplied this RC dV by dt is equal to d square V by dx square. X as distance here. Suppose R as resistance per unit length, C as capacitance per unit length. So that's why it is d square V by dx square. So the propagation time, that is TP, for a signal with distance x is equal to, we know propagation time is directly proportional to square of distance. Now all the capacitance and resistance are lumped together in the figures B. Lumped together means they are considered as a group rather than separately. So R total is equal to N into R into RS. Small r as relative resistance per section in terms of RS, and C total is equal to NC into CG. Small c is relative capacitance per section in terms of CG. So overall delay for n sections is TD, time delay, is equal to N square RC into T. Now when the n increases, overall delay also increases because it directly proportional to delay. So no more than 4 pass transistors are connected in series. We can increase the number of pass transistors but by using a buffer in each group of 4 pass transistors. So this is about the pass transistor, cascaded pass transistor, in which we connected the 4 pass transistors in a series, and we have calculated the delay for cascaded pass transistor. Second type of propagation delay is design of long polysilicon wires. This is a long polysilicon wires in which R and C are connected in series, in which the rate of propagation of signal is slow because we are talking about long polysilicon wires just cascading the pass transistor. So signal propagation rate is slow when it goes from input to output. So there is a diffusion in wires where value of capacitance may be high. So polysilicon wires, long polysilicon wires, are also contributing in the distributed R and C resistance and capacitance, as was in the earlier case, that is cascaded pass transistor. In that case, signal propagation is slowed down. This would be the case of wires inside diffusion where the value of capacitance may be quite high. So this is the reason, so that designer not running signal inside diffusion except over very short distance. But in long polysilicon wires, buffers are recommended, but with buffers in a long polysilicon wires has 2 desirable effects. First effect is signal propagate in speed up. So first one is the propagation signal is speeded up And second desirable effect is reduction in sensitivity noise. So there is a reduce of sensitivity to noise. So as shown in figure, long polysilicon wires with possible effects of delay. The problem of noise with slowly rising signals can be reduced by considering the circuit arrangement. In this figure, slow rise time of inverter input. This is when the input is 0 to 1, so that the input voltage disperses a relatively long time around V inverter, so that very small fluctuations due to noise will switch inverter between 0 and 1 at the output terminal. Long polysilicon wires be driven by using buffers to protect against the effect of noise and rise time speed up of edges of propagated signal. So there is a reduction in noise, and second is propagation is speed up. So signal can be easily propagated from input to output. So this is about the design of polysilicon wires. That's all. Thank you.